Tucker's last show.
This is fast.
We want to thank Tucker Carlson.
But one can only imagine
the network as a host
that if Fox News has to pay up $800 million.
I want to bring in our CNN media analyst, Sarah Fisher. Sarah, just the way that was read right
what
there.
Better head to roll
reading that on the air very calmly,
that
very
fucking
quickly,
scumbag.
very dispassionately. Have you learned
now,
anything
will
in
he
the
appear on another network? I don't know.
The big question, which is why?
I guess it depends on what kind of contract he has, how they actually
explicitly tied. They said that there is nothing they can share yet about whether it's tied to the settlement. But the other thing that will
it's a bit of a muddle of different things. Hold on. But it looks like Tucker's out. Tuckums is dead. Tuckum's gone bye-bye. So let's talk about Tucker going bye-bye. Could this be the beginning of the end of the overt white supremacy on Fox? Or is this just going to be Fox Light? Back to being Fox Light on the bigotry and hate. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, I'm on earlier and because I want to talk more, and I want to just say, wow, this is big. This could be the beginning of. I didn't think it would be, but maybe. Because remember, right now it's April, right? It's the end of April, and I believe it's 2003, so 24. Yeah. So there's a bunch of cable companies, if I'm not mistaken, that could actually drop Fox as part of their base cable system, which would make a huge difference in their money. And they've got a bunch of big contracts coming up, and I believe, I've got to look it up and see who all is in there, but I believe even DirecTV is one of them that they may have issues with. So let's see. Hold on, sorry. Certain things are working, certain things aren't working, and it's getting nuts so, and I don't understand why this is
like TYT. That's right. I said maybe Tucker. Hey, Jank, you could get Tucker on TYT.
Thank you, TYT.
Great idea. Why not?
Jank, TYT.
Really, honestly,
I agree.
Jank over the weekend was going after
why
Joe
not?
Biden, going after the incumbent president who's going to announce he's going to run, which is not going to allow any other Democrat, if you know anything about Democratic Party primaries in this country, you would know that there's no chance in hell anyone would be able to primary Joe Biden. If you just know facts and shit that's real in reality, you would understand how
numbers. You know these factual things like numbers and how they don't really like
someone
being
get
fucked with.
Unger on the phone for me. Get him on the phone. We're going to get him Tucker over there on TYT. He'll be a great asset.
I agree.
There on TYT.
I agree. Tony, I totally agree.
Yeah, he'd be a great
Totally
asset.
agree.
Like,
Here, I want to make sure
they're saying Marianne Williamson is being pushed on TYT.
Yep.
Tucker Carlson loves me
because they are fake freaking liberals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
This is a great idea.
I agree with him. TYT is not. Sorry. You guys are not in for anything we are in for. You don't want. No, sorry. You're not there.
Oh, fuck. You motherfuckers. I'm happy this morning. I'm very happy this morning. Meatball Ron is floundering in Japan.
Yay.
Places. What a horrible visual. What a horrible visual. Where Ron DeSantis lands in Japan.
In Japan.
Can't take a question about him running for president. And the reason why he can't say anything.
Because he would be thrown out as governor.
He can't run for president and be governor.
Governor at the same time.
He cannot. He's trying his best, but he cannot. And he's trying to get that law.
And I cannot get. And I hope who knows?
And he can't get it quick enough. Because the window is closing.
Are they doing it?
You, Ron,
I don't know.
I told you, you motherfucking bobblehead. I told you. You should have resigned as governor the day Trump got indicted in New York. And you should have announced then, man. That was your opening. What are you doing? Why aren't you listening to me? I know these things.
Because you're trying to get him to lose. That's why.
On the pulse.
He knows a little bit better.
You missed your opportunity.
I mean, it's a good thing you're trying to get him to lose. I'm not going to argue that.
Maybe you can go after you're done with your failed 2 terms of governor of Florida by turning them into a fascist state. And OBGYNs don't even want to be in Florida anymore. They're not going to have women are not going to have doctors in Florida. I don't know if you know this. And most of these red states that are passing these laws,
Make your first move.
these
OBGYN residencies fell off in as much as 10% in all red
get
states.
fucking licensed. And they're
In
scared they're not
all
gonna be legalized.
red states.
Women are not going to have health care.
Yeah, that's just a fact. Go look it up. You don't have to listen to what I'm trying to tell you. I'm on this shit all the time. Literally, residencies. What the hell's going on here? Are we having issues with? No, we're not. Residencies in almost every red state have dropped by 10% in OBGYN.
Tucker over on TY.
And that's an average.
Nation. Maybe he can. I don't know. I'm going to spread a rumor. I think Tucker Carlson, that's what I'm going to do. Fuck it. Why not? It's Monday, folks. Why not spread rumor? Rumor has it.
Tucker
Carlson is joining
TYT.
Jank. Where's he at? On TYT.
Can't forget about the boss.
Ha 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 ha. Fuck him. I don't care. What are you going to do to me?
The Subway Series.
Make your show much more popular by actually answering back. That's what he's going to do.
Oh, fuck him.
He will do it.
Fuck him. Let him eat rake.
Make your show that much more popular
We need
by
some
yep.
t-shirts, by the way.
I love it.
Holy shit. What a fun Monday. I'm having fun, folks. Usually I'm all pissed off and I'm upset. Today, I'm excited. You know what? I'm so excited. Let's take that tweet and let's post that shit on Facebook, too. I want to really, get a rumor going here. If we're going to do it, by God, let's do it correctly. Let's not fuck around. So everyone go to Twitter, retweet that shit. Go
Retweet
to
it.
Facebook, share that shit around. Maybe we'll get the rumor started. You know what? Maybe just maybe, Jank will actually listen. He'll be like, hey, that's not a bad idea. He's a Biden hater. He loves dictators. We love dictators here. Why not? We love authoritarianism. Why not here at TYT? Post, rumor has it Tucker Carlson is joining Jank on TYT. Fuck him. What are they going to do? You gonna sue me for defamation? It's just a joke,
Make
Jank.
your show that
Come
much
on the
more
show.
popular. Come on.
Chose the title and the thumbnail, and almost, here's the sad part about it all, really, honestly, because Tucker Carlson develops a ton of content. Think about all the content that he has developed here at the Tony Michaels podcast. The ball tanning, all the Putin sucking, just the absolute fellatio he gives Putin on air. I mean, think about all the content that Tucker Carlson provides us. Now, the question is, who will be in his place? That's what I want to know. What will be in his place tonight on Fox News? Will it be called The White Privilege with Tucker Carlson? Or will it be called something else tonight? I don't know. Who's to say? But we'll see what happens. I'm telling you, I'm fucking excited about this. There's nothing. Jesse Waters. Someone says Jesse.
No, Jesse's also not on good terms either.
Jesse's creepier than Tucker, don't you
Thank
think?
you. He's even worse.
Don't you think?
I don't think he's on much better terms than
Yes,
Tucker
is gone.
was.
Everyone
Tucker is bye-bye. MIA, bye-bye.
Gone, fine.
Gone. Say bye-bye. You're gone, dude. You're gone.
Tucker Carlson is no longer.
Don't let that shit
He's
hit
been
you in the
released
ass.
As of immediately. They're not even going to air him tonight. And
I'm
gonna show you
wondering
the clip that
who's gonna
Aaron
pick him
Brooks
up.
Posted on Twitter.
Who's going to pick him up in his somebody's going to
Tucker
pick him up.
Carlson.
Who?
So,
Who's going to pick him up? It might be a
Gutfeld?
podcast network, but somebody will pay a few million to pick him up.
They need a cheap propagandist over there. And these people you're suggesting just aren't as good. Could be Hannity that moves in that slot. Could be. Maybe
Hannity's
more.
already
But
number
him
one
for
in
a
his
while.
slot. They're not going to.
Who knows? That's Bill Riley's spot originally, So whoever goes to that spot, oh, baby, they're doomed. They're fucking doomed. That's the way I see it. And in the clip that I showed you on that I'm going to show you here in just a little bit of Aaron Rupar posted of Tucker Carlson's last final sign-off on Friday. He said, see you on Monday. So he really thought he was going to do his show
Right.
today, which he's been
I don't think there was any
He's
contract
been-
negotiations.
He's
I think
been
it was.
had.
Yep.
Oh man, what you can't get better than this? What a great American story, to be quite honest. Tucker Carlson went from being a bow-tied nobody to being the chief propagandist of Putin and Fox News and Trumpism, and now he's gone because he cost Fox News $800 million. And if you're thinking that the $800 million has nothing to do with it, bullshit. Bull fucking shit. You are out of your mind if you can't connect those dots.
Exactly.
If Fox News
Exactly.
spent $800 million for Tucker Carlson's dumbass idea to sell lies on TV because he wants ratings from his stupid fucking sheep-ass audience. Right? Now, this is important. And the reason why this is important, because other than Fox News losing news off their moniker, really honestly, that's what should have happened.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one thing I would have asked for. Can you please stop using the word news? You are in no way, shape, or form news of any sort.
It's either that or take news off their name.
Uh-oh.
Because that's the one
they're
good
not
thing
fucking
about
news.
braggadocious
They're not.
people. If they're telling
Just like
the
I don't
truth,
call it Tony
is
Michael's
that they're adding
news.
some value, even if it's physically
No,
aesthetic.
I don't call it fucking news. I mean, we make fun of the
Fox
news,
News
we mock the
Tucker's
news, we cover the
Tesla
news, we tell you about the news,
No,
we
because
tell
it
you what to
never
know about
Tesla
the
in
news,
first
we
place. It was
commentate
red light
on the
therapy, and
news
it
of
was too
what's
stupid to
happening.
explain it.
But I'm not news. I'm not a journalist.
I love the fact, by
Never
the way,
claimed to be.
that,
Won't be.
his last
Not
big
gonna
interview
be.
was with Trump.
That's too
a guy
much
who was
responsibility
also
for me.
recently fired.
I'm here to entertain.
So,
give you a
will
good
Jesse Waters
perspective on
fail
what's
upwards?
going on in the fucking world.
No, I mean, I would think.
But
he's
here's
on
the
thin
thing:
ice as
$800
well.
million.
He's on his way to L.A.
Price.
Yeah, I think he's
So-
literally on his way to L.A. so he stopped
Responsibility.
to do his show.
Don't you just love the idea?
I do love
The
it.
board
Tucker
at
Carlson will now
Fox
go
News
into,
is
like,
going to
the
take the
podcasting
responsibility. Or the
business.
Murdoch brothers, the
Yep.
boys, the
He's
sons.
got a lot
You think
more
they're
money
going to
than
take
Ben
the
Shapiro
blame
does.
for the $800
Yep,
million?
exactly.
They're not.
And probably thinks he can make
course
more money.
they're not.
So probably in the
They're
in the
not
dial
gonna
down. They
take
were-
the
remember-
blame for that.
remember
They're
when I
gonna
told you guys
blame
about
someone
the
else.
Fox Nation thing.
That's what
That
they're
when he got
going to
that
do.
show on Fox Nation, like
That's what they're gonna
Tucker's
do.
Daily or whatever the shit that was, where he had Russell Brand on, where he had Jimmy Dore on. It's a fucking waste of time. In that, I like Wood Studios.
Exactly. Oh, okay, I remember that.
Okay.
I remember that.
And I was telling you that was Fox News giving him a raise by not giving him a raise, by not adding more salary to what he gets for his show, by giving him more work that's pretty pedestrian, and then paying him to do that work.
They're now
What
on the
they
Fox
do, and they
News.
put on
Finally,
series all the
because
time.
they were
A
doing
lot
their
of
little
times,
BS with
they're
their
favorite
poll
actors,
this
directors,
morning,
they
which
don't
their
really
poll
love
means
directing
absolutely
these
nothing
guys.
because their
A
poll
lot
was a
of times
sample of
they'll
1,000 people, and I'm like,
things.
you're just full of shit. You just didn't.
We're not
Oh,
giving
why
you
do you
an
pay
extra
people pay for this bullshit?
something
Oh, so
thousand
you have something to talk
but we'll
about,
let you direct
which is
it.
bullshit.
That will add that amount over the course of the season.
You know, like
to your
that poll,
bottom
it said
line.
there'd be
Having
20
show out what
GOP
you're making
people
the other
instead
actor
of.
and have them
Oh,
complain
there
to
was
because they have
none
more
that
lines than you
actually
do,
said
you're
there
getting
would be
more
only
money.
4.
But we know
Oh,
you're
actually, there
valuable,
were 2 or
so
3, but nobody
that's
paid
how that
attention to those
negotiation
because
happens all the
everybody was
time.
paying attention to all the other polls that were saying
Look at Criminal
20
Minds,
to
that
30
rotating cast of directors.
maybe even
Almost
40
Everybody on that show
seats.
directed dozens of episodes. Gruber, I think, is the only one who
Will change hands.
did like a dozen or so, and it's because he really gives a shit. I think he really does view himself at some point as a director, which is cool. But anyways, Tucker Carlson, at one point they gave him that stupid Fox Nation show on the website, basically just as a way of throwing him money without adding it to the amount of money he's making on his nightly show, so that Sean Hannity wouldn't balk, or that Tucker was getting close to his seniority cash, and
good
Laura
point.
Ingraham wouldn't ask for a little more.
See, I like Hal because Hal's in the business, so he actually knows.
So, it's a
Yeah,
negotiation.
I only do voice work, so I am not in the business.
That there was
My part of the business is very limited. He's much more in the business because I don't even do LA trips.
Shit that's going on between him and Laura Ingraham and Sean Hannity, and the fact that they don't fucking hang at all is telling. You know how when you see occasionally for an election night coverage or some major story, like you'll see Chris Hayes Joy Reid,
All of them in the same
Maddow,
room. Yep.
Like
all of them in the same studio.
Even I would argue Nicole Wallace, who's on during the day, but almost the entire nightly lineup. Well, I would argue the entire nightly lineup from like 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock till
that thing,
end of night.
That special program.
Exactly.
And they'll all sit at a table and discuss stuff. They'll all interact. Do you ever wonder why they never have that at Fox? Besides the fact that all of their hosts are hateful, awful, disgusting people. Because even hateful, disgusting,
awful people
sit at a table together if they think it will add to their bottom line.
Right.
It's because they can't talk to each other
without yelling and trying to kill each other. Right.
They can't. They can't even bring themselves to not show contempt for each other. I mean, even when they bring Tucker onto like the
understand, Hal's been on Fox. That's why I know he's telling you the truth.
Flagging ratings aspect.
That's why I cannot do the LA shit. I can't do the full.
But compared to the money,
here's your reading.
He may be killing it.
Here's your read. Thank you.
But
here's your radio read. Thank you.
World's tallest midget.
That's what I like doing. I'm your radio guy.
Yeah, I know. We're talking about.
I'm the guy who
now.
does that.
So great.
That's all I do.
Like popping into the chat. Hold on,
yes, sometimes you'll hear a voice like that.
There you are.
Talking about certain things.
So we're talking a bit about that and how you can kind of see it coming. And I kind of did. And I was telling you that there was something hinky going on there and that there was just, standard run-of-the-mill people BSing each other, right?
All right, I'm going to go back to a little bit more of
bouncing around subject to
Tony
subject.
talking here.
But I'm very
keep track of what's going on with the other guys
about this morning, because not only is Tucker gone, Ron DeSantis is floundering as he visits Japan, which is a really bad look.
No, we don't want one.
Also, on the show today, we have Rachel Bittickoffer.
Oh, Rachel's going to be on.
What kind of Monday is this? What kind
Rachel's
of
going to be on.
Is this?
I love Rachel.
Monday.
She's good.
Well, I always look forward to Mondays. A lot of people don't like Mondays. I fucking love Mondays. I get to come back here.
Hate it, but let's keep going.
Every single Monday. Noon Eastern, 11 Central, 9 Pacific on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And today we get to hang out with Rachel Bittickoffer. She's going to be at the bottom of the second hour. So stay tuned. You're going to want to watch the entire fucking show, folks. You're not going to want to go anywhere. Because we're going to have Gabe Sanchez come in. We're going to be talking about Tucker. We're going to talk about the shit that happened over the weekend. Cleta Mitchell, I don't know if you heard
and visit
or listened to this audio
I'm
that
loving
Lauren Windsor
record and what they want to push him
on Twitter.
Down. But that they did this now after he had a few bumps.
Oh my God! So they are literally
one of the key hallmarks of any presidential campaign is defining each other, defining your opposition, defining who you are. I remember in 2012, the Obama folks really defined Mitt Romney in those early months.
Well, because he was easy to define.
Why President Biden is deciding.
Dressage horses and all. It wasn't that difficult. It was really easy to do. Now the touch guy with an elevator in his house. Well, at that time, it was still being put into his house. Hadn't completely been put in.
We do not want democracy. And that's what Cleta Mitchell was basically saying at the Republican National Committee. She was saying, we don't want democracy. Democracy bad. Young people should not be able to vote. That's what they're saying. They hate democracy, and the reason why is because their fucking ideas suck. And
1,000%.
We know that
1,000%
suck.
And we don't want them anywhere
near. That's why Ron
near.
DeSantis is floundering in Japan this morning.
Right.
Because he can't figure out if he's running or not, which is a bad look. It's a horrible look. In Florida, it makes sense, right? These fucking scumbags in Florida that like Ron DeSantis.
If it wasn't for the war in Ukraine, Sudan's violence would be a huge thing.
And run for president. They
Unfortunately,
know
it's going to get
but around
secondary all over the place.
People don't fucking know this
It's not going to be noticed, and that's a very bad thing.
But he's like, I'm not running
because unfortunately, it's going to show more and more foreign interference is going to come into that area.
Congressman to endorse me
and screw it up even more.
So not only can Ron DeSantis not get any Florida congressman to endorse him, which Trump did, then he flies to Japan to make it look like he's running for president. The Florida governor, okay, follow me, follow the bouncing ball. The Florida governor, while his state is in a natural disaster. Part of the state is still in a state of national disaster. He decides he's going to go to Japan. To meet with the prime minister.
Why do you go to Japan?
As if he's a fucking president or something.
I don't get why the Florida governor
Ron, you got
is
shit to do
in Japan,
your state, right?
Maybe if he was meeting with one of the governors of one of the
he gets off the plane, the reporters ask him the question, hey, motherfucker, are you running for president? And Ron doesn't know how to react. He's like, oh. I'm serious. That's literally, I'm not kidding you. That's basically, I mean, he used some words like, I'm not actually running. Why are you asking me if I'm running? It's not like I flew all the way to Japan to act like I'm running. He's such an idiot. He's done, man. He's cooked. His goose is cooked. It's Ron. Look, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm trying to help you out here. I was with one of your simps in the Twitter space last night, Ian Miles or whatever his name is. We'll talk about it with Gabe Sanchez. I was with one of your simps that you deploy on Twitter. I know he's part of your overt, or covert campaign, I should say. Listen, man. Listen, you just do it. Just resign and run. That's your only shot here. If you wait for this law or an exception be given to you, then, man, then you're not gonna win. You're not gonna be president, man. You're fucking weird. You're awkward. And you're pretentious as fuck, man. People don't like that shit. They just don't. And I know you're trying to pretend not to be awkward and trying to pretend not to be, pretentious. But it makes it worse when you pretend these things. It makes it way worse. So, Ron, Meatball, listen, I know you really, 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 really believe the shit that people were saying about you, that you were charismatic and you were the next fascist leader of the United States. I know you believe that shit. I know, I get it. I understand that you have this ego and it needs to be fed. But Ron, it sucks to suck. And you fucking suck at this. You're horrible at this. Not only are you horrible at pretending and making it look worse, but man, you poor guy. You're just not cut out to be a leader. Because people don't like fascism. People don't want their liberty and their rights taken away. They just don't. So stop. Here's my suggestion, honestly. Ron, listen, resign and retire. That's what you should do. Apparently Don Lemon is out too. Everyone's saying Don Lemon's out at CNN. Good, fuck him. Good, fuck him. Maybe Don Lemon can go over to TYT or News Nation too. Listen, I know a lot of people like Don.
I will not
over at CNN.
Argue that. That's probably a good idea.
But what CNN is trying to do is trying to be more right-wing, right? And now that Tucker's gone, they're going to really, and now that it seems that Fox News is going to pull back from this stuff.
Because they need to, because they realize they've gone too far. When you get the little old ladies even saying that they've gone too far, that's the problem.
For the settlement with Smart
Because the lady goes with her husband.
Because if Fox News
and you got these women even going,
they settled with Dominion for $800 million, made changes at Fox News, it's going to be easier. It's going to be easier to convince Smartmatic to get to a number, because the thing that Fox News is really concerned about is this bar of $800 million.
Why his opinion on working
people. Oh no, I think it's going to be a 1.2 to
$1.3
1.3 billion for Smartmatic. Easily.
Honest to God.
I think easily 1.2 to 1.3.
Straighten up and fly center. You
just to make it go away. And we're talking about making it go away before we even get to
abducted, I would say, by Russia, and
the
Trump
thought
sort
of
of
getting to a trial
with Russia and all them,
much less
them running
picking a
interference
jury
for him playing
in New York.
Russia for years, and
in New York
throughout his presidency, even though they knew he was setting this shit up. They may have just decided that it's time for them to enter their kind of Kasich, years
And CNN
from a
is probably
conservative
preparing
standpoint
to
and
suck up
stop
some of that
courting
market,
maggots
right?
because
Yeah, I mean,
that audience is eaten.
that's the thing
That
about
audience is
It's
already
gone.
they're
and
watching
mainstream
Newsmax.
media
Yep,
and all
they're
those
gone.
news stations.
You know,
They have good.
and
Is there
Fox
Luke,
can't
go.
out
They're in it for the
Newsmax.
money.
Newsmax, exactly.
They can't do it.
They can't
and
do
stay
it.
on fucking cable anyway.
Can't do
Yeah.
it.
I mean, they have
Yeah,
to.
wouldn't be prudent. Wouldn't be
Within
prudent.
the
Yes,
boundaries
this is
of
it's an episode of
journalistic standards.
comedians
That's
in
why
cars
Fox
getting
News
coffee.
has the
That's
trouble
right.
that it's had because
Um,
knows fucking they were not staying in those
so
boundaries. That's why they
I'm
owe $800
let's see.
million on this first settlement.
Wow.
I'm excited about it.
Listen,
I think it's very interesting.
Tucker.
I think there
Bye-bye.
will be a there's going to be
it's all good.
more that fall, but I think
And
yeah.
I know
Now that I think about it, the main reason why they're able to get rid of Tucker Carlson without a mutiny is because of his emails that showed that he didn't like Trump.
What could or could not happen.
Fox should hire.
But
Phil.
yeah,
He
see,
can't come on either.
that still bugs me,
They
though,
can't.
because he was screaming, we can soon stop,
all the fucking
doing the
people
love
that
of
we've
Trump.
been mentioning
but
are all people who
I
got
guess-
them in this
No matter who the enemy
fucking
is.
billion-dollar predicament in the
Because
first
he
place.
was the biggest
It's
prick
fantastic.
white supremacist in the place.
I'm excited.
And that's all Trump is about. Sorry.
Now,
He is just about the
granted,
bigotry and the hate.
So many of them are being let go,
Together.
and they are sort of ideologically buddy-buddy. And they do have resources that there may be a thing where Tucker Carlson hires
See, the
Bonfolio
thing
and
you
some
don't
of the other
understand
cast
about
and gives them their
Trump
daily caller show.
is he ain't happy about having to
because
get
he's
money
looking
from the
at hero
Saudis.
money, and
He'd
you know,
rather not.
One of the things that started
He
one of
loved
the things
Deutsche Bank.
that really
He
brought this to a
loved
head.
getting money from Deutsche Bank because that was
I'm still
Russian.
on the air because I think I'm.
That was some nice
it's
white
so
money.
weird.
But
One of the things that caused this.
Yeah, he's not crazy about that. Believe me.
Most equity that we possibly can achieve.
I can't tell.
Rather
the,
not.
The chat's not moving, so I can't see if I'm. Hope I'm still on. Anyways, I'll keep talking as if.
We're going to talk about it here on the Tony Michaels podcast.
One of the things that started all this, I think, especially around the money arguments where Bonfolio was saying, there's, I guess there's, it was a contract dispute and he wasn't fired because of the shit, the money he caused that he helped them lose in the Dominion case. One of the arguments was that these guys saw the Steven Crowder Daily Wire story play out, which is where the Daily Wire tried to hire Steven Crowder and pay him effectively what they thought was shit money.
Why?
And I'm just going to check on the other thing to make sure that that you guys can see me. Hold on one second. Because I feel like there's
No,
a
you're fine.
thing
You're
with the
fine.
thing.
You're fine. You're fine.
You gotta. I feel like
could
I'm
only
not
say
seeing the
you're
chat
fine,
in
you're
here, so I want
fine.
to make sure. I may have to open the chat in another window to make sure I'm seeing it. So you're on multiple devices at once. Is it working? Am I on the? There they are. Good.
Yeah, you were
Okay.
fine.
You're fine.
You're
Okay,
fine.
now I can see it
You're
because
fine.
it froze. The chat froze on my iPad, probably because of the heat. So, anyways, now back to where I was. The reality is that they're part of the back and forth.
We're just letting people
between
go.
Tucker
We're left and right,
Carlson
but it is April,
Fox
and this
News
is the
and
time
why
that this happens.
Things might have beyond gotten heated, or conversations about a cut in pay because everybody at the network's got to tighten their belts and blah blah blah, and Tucker Carlson might have told them to go fuck themselves, and so they fired him, blah blah blah, and it's the idea that a bunch of Fox hosts would be like unionizing against Fox is kind of adorable. But one of the things that might have started was they saw how much money the Daily Wire is making, and they went, how much? Just streaming? All right, we want that instead. So the reality is it tempers flare on both sides in that conversation. Some people may feel safer than they should in their money making ability, right? So they were, maybe more apt to go, well, then fuck you, and storm out, which cost them a severance package of some enormity. And the stories that come out from, Deadline, which is the Hollywood paper, and then there's the Daily Beast has their own kind of behind the scenes broadcasting newsletter that they do or whatever. Shit will come out on there. You think he has a non-compete compete clause? No, not if you're fired, anyways. Nobody signs a non-compete clause if they're fired, not for unless they're fired for like if they're not fired for cause, right? Because that means the network could hire you just to keep somebody else from hiring you and then fire you so you couldn't go there and they don't want you on theirs. They just keep you from working, which happened back in the day. And anybody who's stupid enough to sign one of those contracts should set their agent on fire, metaphorically.
Maybe at the end of the day.
There's plenty of cause. Well, that's the other thing, too. Right. We'll see if it, again, insufficiently loyal to Trump in those quarters is enough. But it may be about there may be some sexual harassment stuff that they were just kind of, who gives a shit as long as he's worth it. Because again,
maybe the city
I don't know why any of these fuckers think they have friends.
With those people. If those people are not,
they absolutely don't.
Thank you. Okay, good.
When your network,
I'm not the only one who sees this. None of these guys are
your network
friends.
Is running interference for you when you're doing some awful,
horrible shit.
They're not doing it out of the goodness of their heart.
Have to send a message.
They're not doing it because fuck her, she's a liar. We believe in you.
No, they're doing it for the money.
Especially after the third or fifth or 10th one, right?
It is tough.
Come on.
Bill O'Reilly. Billy.
This is a situation
Billy boy
where
how many millions did he cost them?
Yet
they still, but I guess it's worth
one day we might need to jettison this asshole.
Yeah, 24 million is still worth it because we made $1 billion.
If he ever, balks at how small his,
because it's just kind of scary when we have companies that can do that kind of
probably
bullshit.
for $20 million severance.
It really makes it says something about how big some of these corporations are.
But every time you
maybe
fuck
that they
around
don't need to be this
and do
big.
something awful at the network, they can basically shave $5 million off that package.
Not liking the fact that every single media company now is a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
But if he bitches,
mom and pop stores are all gone because every single radio station
we'll
is now
offer to give him 15 if he leaves quietly. If he just says no,
except for 2 or 3.
We got on him.
Percentage-wise, about I believe 3%. Overall are now.
These seem like the kind of people they are, and if
corporate owned, it's crazy.
The lesson
this is why this is going to become the standard. It's not going to be on the radio anymore. It's going to be online. It's going to be these guys and many more. Hopefully, many more to join.
You can tell I'm not into fashion. So.
Yeah, everybody's like talking about him having to sell his ball tanner.
Maybe I will.
Sir, a second famous news anchor has just been let go.
Who could tell?
It's just I have to say, like,
TYT didn't do anything to me. They just don't do anything.
That group of I'm so lucky.
Like when
I'm really lucky because the casts I've worked with,
it's looking like more and more like Georgia may have flipped 2 of their fake electors. They have. It could actually change everything.
Difficult at times.
Everything. Because it's a RICO case.
That were an issue.
And in a RICO case where you've got 12 people who had to be intimately involved in this in order to sign off on it, it's not going to be good, guys. It's not going to be good for Donald or for them.
Surrounding group of people.
Now, is it going to be bad enough that the Republicans stay the fuck away from trying to get into it and interfere with it via the state changing laws? CRT.
I guess historically, the only experience I have.
For those of you who don't understand what CRT is, it's what George is doing about laws to interfere with the DA. That's CRT. It's a prime example of it. But then again, every law is. Because if you don't understand how laws are made and work, then you don't understand anything about law. And I'm not just talking American law. You need to study British law and
Good Lord.
Indian law and a few others that are just like really weird, and then you kind of go, wow, this shit's really about fucking over people in some cases. Yeah, it is.
Applaud her
to speak against
just for being able to stick through that shit,
even though
right?
I don't agree with them
anyways,
100% of the time. But I believe
that's the main experience that I have of a kind of workplace like that. But everywhere else I've ever worked, everybody was so fucking lovely that it was just I was in a hurry to get to work.
Yeah, that's the way you want it to be. You want people to be
like
great.
Disney and other places where everybody's like, Mausewitz, they used to call it.
Mausewitz.
Everybody's great.
No.
Well,
especially if you're working with a great production team.
Space yesterday, and
because a lot has to do with your production team and who you're doing production work with.
I'm not going to say
I know that
it pivoted over to Bud Light,
especially when you're doing voice work.
Pivoted over to Bud Light.
And you only get to be in the.
It started with Elon Musk
in the room
talking about
like this.
The blue check thing.
Yeah, and people were like, oh,
well, the blue check debacle. Let's face it, he fucking everyone knew it was going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah,
and because that's the reason the blue checks came in the first place.
People were talking about like, oh,
it was one of the original invitees to Twitter.
Block the blue, and I was like, that's dumb because what you create is an echo chamber of only right-wing verified people. I'm not someone who's going to buy a blue check mark, but I see why people would. Do I personally think that the features there and the value that's added by paying
$8 a month, $9 a month, or $12 a month,
$15 a year? Do I think the value is there for me? No. Do I think there's a lot of bugs and I wouldn't do it? Yes.
Yeah, yes.
It's not something that I would.
But
pay
do you
for.
think?
Why would you pay
the way that it appears that the blue checks are getting the rise in the algorithm? Because the only thing I see is that they're at the top of the feed, which I mean, in all actuality, when you're rolling down like replies and stuff, of course you'd see them.
Well,
first. That doesn't mean you're going to agree with that account.
No one said it is agree with, but what it is the fact that you pay. It's a pay to play scheme,
right?
If I pay money, then I see the benefit or the privilege of getting my content shown first, right? So.
In other words, that case, my priority number goes from 99999 up to 7777.
Quality content. It just means it's going to be shown more, but more people might engage with it, and your account might grow.
Doesn't mean you're going to be at the top.
So in that regard, like you're getting a step forward as an advantage. Do I agree with paying for the check mark? No, because I'm not someone who aligns with that. I could totally I
agree.
People who have a business or people who want to make sure that their content is seen, depending if they're on
the
left,
one of those mornings.
the right.
Everybody's kind of like poofing.
That's your choice. For me personally, I don't find the value in it. I would much rather pay $15 a month to Netflix with all of those things that I'm getting out of it, right?
Regina has a very specific opinion here. Twitter is for twats. Hey, I might be a twat.
I'm on Twitter.
I might be a twat.
If you're paying for it, you're a twat.
I don't identify as a twat.
Sorry, if you're paying for it, you're a twat.
That I is.
So basically, what happened was the reason it went over to the Bud Light conversation was because we were talking about Elon and we were talking about people being like, oh, canceled, ban this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look, everyone on the right, because there was a question of like, is cancel culture more a left thing or a right thing? And I was like, it's 100% a right. I mean, there are people on the left who are like,
they invented it.
Thank you. They're number one at saying you don't have this right.
Well, we're going to cancel. We're going to call it a boycott or a ban. And I'm like, literally, those are synonyms. Look those up. They mean the same thing in terms of what you're trying to do.
Right. It's semantics. It's semantics, right?
And you could be like, look, I personally am boycotting this company by not purchasing their product. That is my right to boycott.
We're going to talk about
the way that Republicans boycott is I'm going to send this person death threats, which is what that VP Bud Light,
I'm so mad at you. I'm going to go after you. I'm going to be a hideous person to you because I don't like what you're doing.
We can't host these events anymore because now it's a security risk.
Yeah, well, they
what?
They're not going to take Clydesdales to a someplace in Missouri.
So you have these people that
see. This is what I mean. It's like what is in your brain that you hate this much?
I don't agree with what's being had here. They had to take it further and really make their opinion known by threatening violence against events, the company, the employees. And some of these people are like, I had nothing to do with that decision. I just work at this company, right? And so you see how the right will always like react in this like knee-jerk, violent way, right? And that's the base. That's the MAGA way, man. That's the base. Donald Trump identified who they were, and he knew exactly who he needed to really latch onto.
Right, cancel culture, right?
Right, and so
this was the question over and over and over in this room, and the right wingers were trying to figure out a way to distinguish the difference between cancel culture, which is totally left wing, Gabe Sanchez, and boycotting, and I'm like, look, you're because they kept saying boycott is on a product or a company. Cancel culture is on an individual. I'm like, yeah, but it's the same motherfucker, because in the instance of Bud Light, in the instance of Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch, like you were just saying, they boycotted Bud Light and they canceled the lady who worked for them, right? So, I mean,
I'm sorry. Now, how do you cancel her?
They don't want to be part of cancel culture because they think.
But hold on. Here's my problem. When he's shooting it up after he's bought it, is it cancel or is it just stupid culture? I'm just asking for a friend. Because, see, if you bought the shoes and then you burned them, aren't you the idiot who actually gave them the money? I'm sorry. It seems like you dumb white folks sometimes. Your bigotry is kind of stupid. It kind of doesn't make sense, and also it kind of screws you when you do it.
It's a left-wing thing, which it's not. Well, I mean, is there cancel culture? I mean, sure, there's a mentality and a mob mentality, but it doesn't last. It doesn't last, folks. And really, honestly, I was trying to make the point in this space with the Bud Light because you had to leave right when I came in.
Yeah. And the last thing that I said leading into it, I was like, look, Republicans, the people on the right.
By the way, yes, there have been successful boycotts on the left. Coors is a perfect example of what was a persona non grata beer, literally for most of the clubs I worked at during the period of time when Coors was being very hateful. And Coors noticed it. Here's why. You got a huge group of people that drink like there's no friggin' tomorrow because you keep depressing the shit out of them by telling them that they're just disgusting people. Yet you're going to be anti them and not okay. So you're not understanding where your money's coming from. Was the problem with Coors. So as soon as that happened, it didn't kill them by any means. No. But it really showed them where their fucking profits came from.
Conservatives, they always have the same mentality. In order to own the libs, right? You had people like Kid Rock, right, who buys a bunch of Bud Light.
Thank you. Buys.
You had Nick
Why do you buy a bunch of Bud Light and then shoot it?
And then says take photos after you buy a big bag of M&Ms. The only way, they
Thank
do the
you.
same
How?
thing.
What the?
They
huh?
set things on fire. They burn them. They
Thank
throw
you.
them out. They post videos of them doing it. It's like,
I believe that is called hateful actions. The kind of shit that you would teach your kids not to. You're white supremacist. It's the kind of shit you do teach your kids to do. See, I was always taught not to do that shit. But
do what you want to do. But if your whole personality is cancel, anything that is different from what your opinion, your perspective, your point of view is.
It's not cancel. It's hate. We keep renaming this shit. It's the same crap. I hate them for what? An illogical reason because some dude over here told me that's what I'm supposed to do. Because Bible? Have you read the damn thing? Read the damn thing. Read it. The man sitting down here has read it, like I have. He said it's the same shit that John Fugelsang and I say all the same time.
And it seems like
what the fuck? Read this book and you will not
you
believe
owning
it.
yourself because you just paid that company that you were like, we gotta cancel them. You just gave them money.
Let's go buy a pallet full of Bud Light and shoot it with a gun. Well, the other thing about Kid Rock, and you mentioned it before you left the room, you said even Kid Rock himself wasn't serious about this, because if he was really serious, he has a bar with his name on it. It's not like he owns some obscure bar in Nashville, Tennessee. It has his fucking name on it, right? It's a huge bar in Nashville. It's like 3 stories or some stupid shit. And they're serving Bud Light on tap. They're serving Anheuser-Busch. This is all fucking bullshit. And that was my point, is that just like Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch went to Dylan Mulvaney and said, hey, will you do us a favor? Will you act like you like Bud Light on your Instagram page for like, I don't know, 30 seconds? Because even in the video, she's like, I don't even know if I like the taste of Bud Light. She drinks a few drinks of it, but she's not like, oh, Bud Light's my brand. And that wasn't what it was. It wasn't like, I only drink Bud Light. If it was some grand endorsement of Anheuser-Busch or Bud Light, it was clear that Bud Light paid her to put those Bud Light cans in this video, make a video about the one can
that they made for her, because all you got to do is silk up It's literally all they do is they did probably a bunch of them.
It was a token of their gratitude for doing that.
Literally. They put into the machine probably 10 or 20 of these promotional people, and they did a batch of them, so that there was probably 2 cans each, maybe 6, and that's it. That's it. Because you can spin these up at any time, thanks to things like the internet and computers. The silk screening, the new way of making that can, and how everything's spun on it and printed on it, quite literally.
This ad to her, right? It just doesn't make any sense, but it's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. She is trying to market a certain message to her niche audience, which is humongous, right? She's got an audience of millions of people,
right?
And it's a niche audience, right? They are there for her and her content,
right?
It's not like a network where there's all kinds of shows or
even TNT.
Event. It's a niche audience to her, and that's all Bud Light was trying to do, is get their product in front of that audience. Now, the same could be said for Kid Rock shooting up the Bud Light. He's mad because he went on Instagram, and who knows how many transgender people these
look at conservative media go nuts over the fact that it's looking like Biden's going to kick their butts.
People in this room
they just can't handle the old man.
This is definitely going to affect Anheuser-Busch. This is definitely going to kill the brand of Bud Light over time. I'm like, you people are dumb. Listen, brands come and they go. Right?
Thank you.
Bud Light is gone,
they live and die.
And no one's drinking.
Nobody is here forever.
And no one's
none of this shit was around just 130 years ago. Hate to tell you that.
See, I told you. 40 years later,
none of this.
The brand would be gone. Like, come on, man. This is so stupid.
That was a big thing that was brought up during the space. They were like, "Oh, how long will this last?" I was like, "Dude, in a few months, no one's gonna remember this." I was like, back in 2021. People freaked out over the fact that if you got literally this, and I was like
what
Krispy Kreme and other places, if you got a vaccine, they weren't forcing you. They said,
they'd say, if you got a vaccine, come in and you can have a free donut
for free. We'll give you a free 6-pack. They didn't force it on you. They said, if you do that,
go get, and we'll
have to have a vaccine.
Right, exactly. They said, we'll give you a free 6-pack. Just hey, do your part. We'll give you free beer. And people on the right
went fucking.
They got so up in arms. They're like, Bud Light, it's woke as shit. Blah blah blah. All the same stuff that we're hearing right now.
Guess what it did?
Different, like outrage.
It improved the numbers immensely.
Not quite the hate there is for transgender people.
But in 2021, when the vaccine was available, and they're like, "Hey, how do we incentivize people?" Right?
Right. We were thinking of everything. There was restaurants putting shit out. There was Bud Light. There was everybody.
Hey, we'll give you free donuts. Bud Light was like, "Look,
everybody was doing something.
Man. Like,
it was really crazy.
Like, do whatever you want to do. Here's a free 6-pack.
Let's just get back to normal, because really that was their
exactly.
Like,
we were just that's all we wanted. We wanted to get back to normal,
motherfuckers.
And so then people were like, "Oh my god, this is terrible!" And they got so upset, and they're like, "Cancel, cancel, cancel. The same thing, like cancel Coca-Cola, cancel Delta, cancel the MLB, cancel
M&Ms, man. They did M&Ms because of the stupid sexy boots, right? And then it was oh, they're printing special packages that have women on it or some shit, or they're adding what was the last one? Oh yeah, they were adding another female M&M, and they were mad because there wasn't enough man M&Ms or some stupid shit. As if fucking M&Ms have genitalia. They're completely obsessed with this.
Thank you with genitalia.
Really, the genitalia
Why?
is where it comes into play here, man. They're really focused on that. But the
especially children's genitalia. Hello,
because they brought me up. And oh man, every time I go in these spaces, they say don't use personal attacks. Like when I come in the room, all of a sudden they're talking about personal attacks.
Oh yeah.
So I came up and I was like, I'm gonna try my best. I really am. I'm gonna try my best without the personal attacks, but it's really difficult for me over here because of the dumbest dog shit stuff that you guys say.
Yeah.
And what they were trying to say, I don't remember the fucking idiot that was in there. He was talking about how we're a republic. We're not a democracy. He started to do that shit.
Oh, that
and
crap.
Then,
I hate
and then
that
he
crap.
said, in the same fucking breath, he said, it's a democratic way when people want to boycott a product. You fucking moron. So I had to chime in. I said, look. This is capitalism, dummy, and capitalism, love it or hate it.
You don't. Yes, this is the way you. Yes,
and the reason
it's
why
called your dollar.
Normally sucks for most people is because the more money you have, the more votes.
Exactly,
right?
your dollar counts more than almost anybody else's.
However much money you can collect up, that's how many fucking votes you get. Right?
Which unfortunately should make the poor very, 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 very voteful.
That's how you do it.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way.
There's no fucking cancel culture council out there that is dictating what you can and cannot cancel. Now, there's a mob mentality with social media, but that's because we're too goddamn stupid to realize that social media is fucking fake. Like Kid Rock shooting up the fucking Bud Light, that's all bullshit. He did that for that fucking camera for his social media account. Right. All the people who followed him like, fuck Bud Light, I'm dumping
and had somebody else shoot it with him.
Throwing their Bud Light.
Remember that? He didn't shoot it up himself. He had somebody on the side shooting it up with him.
They're drinking Bud Light today, almost every single one of them motherfuckers. Because there's not a camera on them 24/7 from their social media account to show when they are and when they aren't drinking Anheuser-Busch. They know that. So when they got the camera on them, they'll have Coors Light, which, by the way, is a gayer beer than Bud Light by the standard that they've set forward. But the point is that social media is not fucking real. It's not fucking real. You can make it appear however you want to make it appear. Just like Kid Rock appeared to be anti-Bud Light, anti-Anheuser-Busch on one hand on his social media account, but has to hold to his contracts at his bar in Nashville. Right. And if he really was so anti-woke, he would close his fucking bar in Nashville.
His bar, exactly.
Like, that's my argument. Like, if you're so fucking anti-woke, close your bar so you don't have to serve the woke beer, the woke transgender beer, whatever they think it is, right? But I told him in this space, I said, look, democracy, we are a democracy. A capitalism is a form of democracy. Our constitutional republic is a form of democracy. And Ian Miles, is that his name? Is that his name?
Miles Ian Chong.
Miles Ian Chong.
I'm also the reason.
So here's what he
brought up doxing, and so that's if you came in and they were talking about dead dogs and shit. It's because I brought up a story about how he swatted someone because he was like, oh, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah, he was talking about that.
The left is always doxing the right. And I was like, dude, didn't you fucking swat Ian Worski? And everyone in the chat started fucking lighting up. And it was like,
I've been doxed. I've been doxed. Everyone knows I've been doxed. And it's not the left that doxes. I mean, they can, but generally it's the right that doxes because they're trying to get people to give death threats and shit. And they're trying to get people to post pictures of their children on fucking Twitter. Trust me, I know this. That's when I got doxed, that's what they were doing. These fucking pedophile right-wing creepos were posting pictures that they stole from my wife's Facebook page of my children trying to intimidate me into doing what they wanted. And I told them to fuck off. And they did eventually because everyone saw that they were pedos because I pointed it out. The point is this, is that he said, when I said about democracy, he said, this is why I hate democracy. I hate democracy. I don't want democracy. And he's giving it away because not only is Miles Ian Chong a total fucking right-wing freak, this guy is a covert operative of Ron DeSantis on Twitter. Now, I don't know if he's paid or not, but the guy is a covert operative. I mean, he was in the space. This is a guy who simped for Trump for a long time.
Okay.
He was in the space. So he's calling.
Was he Trumpy? And then
Trump their orange Jesus and orange God. And I don't bow down to the orange God. And he loves Ron DeSantis and all this shit, which it just shows how dumb Miles is that he would support Ron DeSantis because he's floundering, right? But what am I to say?
But I will give. There was a moment where I was like, God damn it, why am I agreeing with you right now? He called out. He's like, conservatives are really bad at this, and he was saying that he was like, oh yeah, it's like they don't mean what they say. Donald Trump was saying like, or Donald Trump Jr. was talking about, we should ban Bud Light, all this bullshit, and then immediately within days was like, oh guys, we should probably back off on this. Because again, like everyone else, they realize that there's a financial incentive. They're getting donations. They're getting people to back them, and a lot of those people are coming from the very companies they're trying to cancel and ban or whatever.
So I've said it before on this show. Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch has a stronghold on state governments in their region, and that's the other thing I brought up in the fucking spaces, that beer markets are regional. Like, these people don't even understand how beer works. Like, it's national now because big companies have bought these brands and been able to, have some sort of the same product from coast to coast.
Basically,
right?
there's only two beer companies.
Anheuser-Busch was the first to invent this.
Well,
where
I'm
Bud
sorry,
Light
there's only
tasted the same in Florida as it did in California.
big ones.
The exact same
the
fucking
company
beer.
that owns Coors, the company that owns
just like
that is
McDonald's did with
Anheuser-Busch,
fucking
and
hamburgers.
there's a
Bud Light
German
did with beer.
company.
That's why Bud Light
owns,
is the fucking principal brand in
almost everything
in America.
in the EU
it's the fucking institution of national brands in America for beer. But beer is regional. One reason why beer is regional is because beer is the natural form of fermentation, which makes
you can only make it. You can only take it so far,
which gives it its ability to stay good longer.
Right.
But ice also helps, Gabe Sanchez.
Transportation.
Way back,
can only be so far away from your brewery.
Ice was hard to come by. So that's why beer is regional, because you had to keep beer good for people to be able to drink it, right? I mean, it's a natural carbonation process through fermentation, but it loses its carbonation. It goes skunk, as I say here. It's skunk beer after a while, and no one wants to buy it or drink it. Well, a bar owner half a world away from the distributor 150 years ago didn't want to buy beer from that distributor because the beer wouldn't be good by the time it got to him to sell it to his customers. So he'd buy it down the road from the two beer makers down the road, and he would offer those two beers in his bar. That's how it became regional. But they don't even know that that's how it works. So speaking that beer is regional, Anheuser-Busch gives a shitload of money. I mean, a shitload of money in states like Illinois, Missouri, Iowa, and Arkansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, because they want to be beer states. They don't want to have dry counties and shit, because their incentive is to sell beer. Just like their incentive to go on Dylan Mulvaney's Instagram page is to sell Bud Light to her audience. That's the whole point.
Hello.
And more companies are doing this as television is taking a nosedive. They're going and they're putting their brand,
figuring out where to put their brand,
large audiences,
exactly,
right? And they're focusing in on how do we get in front of everyone.
One TikTok creator that has a few million
Bud Light
is a lot of
listen to me,
impressions.
Audience, Bud Light does not give a shit about MAGA. It doesn't give a shit about transgender
because the impressions are more important than almost anything.
It really does not. It only gives
it's not like you're going to see the ad and go running out.
One thing only. And
it's the impression. It's supposed to sit in your head so that the next time you go shopping,
that's it. That's it.
It's
the
first thing you think of when you see it. That you'll pull it.
It doesn't
first.
matter if it's Kid Rock or Dylan Mulvaney. They want to sell beer to their audiences. That's why the CEO's statement was so fucking weak. And it didn't even take a side. If you go read that statement, you read the statement from the CEO. It's horrible. Horrible. There's no defense of anything other than, hey, look, we just want to sell beer.
Good to
okay,
have all of you here.
We just want to sell beer.
For me.
But they didn't understand this in this space. But I think the most,
but neither man
the
right
funniest
now
part was,
has
I think it was the
honestly
Brit
any
suit guy.
serious opposition.
he came
Trump
in?
is ahead of.
Oh my God! See, this is the problem. We are literally working off of a media.
I believe. I think it was him.
Understand? Here's what the media is doing here.
Cancel culture.
They've literally all morning just been about Biden's too old. Trump's too old.
He blocks me.
Like what?
He blocked me. Like, what the fuck, man?
Because of one poll of 1,000 people.
I don't know. Maybe we should
18 months before an election.
To change the block button to the
yeah.
So
why I have just decided, you know what? Maybe we'll do that.
No, it's fine.
I'm excited.
I do have.
I feel like I'm on drugs.
Let's not even.
It's a very. It's like, oh, case of the Mondays. It's like, I don't know. It's got a whole different meaning now.
Yeah, let's do that.
I would say,
because I am so sick of them. They are just. It's the same shit. It's the same shit with them.
Yeah, fuck him too. I mean,
so we got two people, Don Lemon, Tucker Carlson. I think they're going to start their own morning talk show.
Oh, could you imagine the two of them getting together?
I think Jenk should catch on to Tucker. He should. I even tweeted that rumor has it that Tucker Carlson's going to go over to TYT.
Who knows? I mean, like
I just heard people saying. So
people are saying.
Now 2 people have said it. You've said it. I said it. Many people are saying
I do wonder, like, was this a condition in the settlement? Was this something?
Well, it could be. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on.
But don't you think though that they would warn Tucker Carlson if it was a condition in the settlement?
No.
I feel like it would also be something that was made public unless it was explicitly said, like, you cannot, like, we'll agree to kicking him off, and the transition will be by the end of the week or whatever. We'll do it, but we don't have to make it public. I don't know. I honestly feel like it's Murdoch being like, look, if I fire everyone who was ever involved in pushing the big lie, then I can't be sued for defamation, right? Like
I almost bet you, and I'm not going to guarantee it, but I almost bet you one of the companies that he's literally doing contract work with just in the last couple of weeks came to him and said, if you don't drop this dude and this dude, we're not signing anything. And this is a basic cable deal, I'm sure. I'm not saying it's with one of the biggest, but I bet you anything there's RCN. Are they still around? Who are they now? RCN is now. Oh, because they used to be Cablecast, and then they used to be. There's CenturyLink, and there's a number of them. Other than DirecTV and Xfinity, Comcast, which are the 2 bigger ones. But there are other much smaller ones that you don't even hear about that are also saying, hey, if you don't get rid of this, we're not going to sign you back on. And he makes his money off of those. Not as much the advertising. That's his profits.
Because of that time slot. Right, because that's Bill O'Reilly's old time slot, and that's going to be the heaviest time slot, no matter who is in it. Right, so like it doesn't matter who moves in that slot or who takes over that slot. That is going, that's going to be the time slot to have, and it's not necessarily the person's time slot. I mean, Jesus Christ, Bill O'Reilly's over on News Nation, and no one even fucking knows that.
Yeah. Oh, he is?
So it's
I didn't even know that.
O'Reilly was some kind of groundbreak owl.
I did not know that.
It's that
He's over
fucking time slot on Fox News. Then same way as Tucker Carlson. This Tucker Carlson, he was a bow tie nobody. And then he took his spot bank. Now he's got it. He was failed at MSNBC. He failed at CNN. Tucker Carlson.
Tucker's been every single freaking network and thrown out.
He's a fucking loser. But here's the last sign off. This is the last 30 seconds of his show, White Privilege Tonight. Isn't that what it's called?
White Privilege Tonight.
I mean, the idea. I just like the idea that he had a little pizza party. He knew what was happening. He fucking knew.
You think he knew?
Yeah. Just listen to the way he talks about it. He'll be back.
Okay, let's watch.
Way to start. What a great way to end the week. Yeah. Truly, that was a great segment, and I'm just grateful that you came on, and I'm especially grateful for the pie.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Employee of the week. We're just make it of the year. Tyler Morrell of Coco's Pizza. That's it for us for the week. We'll be back. By the way, the entire episode of Let Them Eat Bugs, not quite as good as pizza, streaming now on Fox Nation. Use the promo code ORIGINALS for 30 days free. And we'll be back on Monday. In the meantime, have the best weekend with the ones that you love, and we'll see you then.
I disagree. I don't think he knew.
I don't think he knew. I don't think he knew shit.
He knew what was going on.
I don't think he knew shit. I agree with Tony.
Over the weekend.
I am totally with Tony on this one. I don't think he knew shit until maybe even this morning.
I'm going to argue with him and up and down sideways here, because here's what I see in this clip. I see in this clip, he's pimping his originals shit over on Fox Nation, which is the subscription service.
Yeah,
right?
well, probably because he makes money on that. That's why.
Right.
Well,
he makes,
right. But
he
I mean,
makes,
if he
he
knew
makes,
he
makes
listen,
pennies on that.
If I knew they were going to fire me on
that.
Monday, I'd be kicking over desk. I would be doing all kinds of crazy.
Unless your payday is pretty nice, like if you have a little
21 million kick out, say bye bye.
I honestly believe there's
probably
something in
a couple
there
of
where they're like, all right, you get paid out $50 million or
well,
whatever
because it was probably whatever his
there's
contract
some
was left.
sort of
Remember that
agreement
he
in
had
the
a contract.
It's like if Fox News decides that they want to,
unless they had something in his contract that allowed them to get out from under the money,
from the
they're just going to pay him the rest of his contract.
Then yeah, I totally see that they would owe him probably a fair amount of money.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you who's next, you think, but I got it. Our audience is the greatest audience in the world. Cruising for a Bluesin', which, boy, that's a great name. You guys, the Jank and Skank show with special guest, the Bow-Tied Wink. Oh, my God.
Bow-Tied Wink.
I didn't type that in. I'm just.
The Bow-Tied Wink. I like that.
I think you're referring
that sounds
to
cool.
Anna over there. I don't know. Maybe just maybe you're right. Maybe he did know, and it's part of his contract that he can't say anything, right? That he knew. I mean, I guess that's a possibility. But who do you think is next? Do you think Judge Boxwine is next? Do you think Jesse Waters goes? I mean, because if they're really going to get rid of the $800 million liability, because that seems like what has happened here, right? They got to pay $800 million. They got to make heads roll because it's $800 million bucks. The fucking shareholders are going to say to the board, hey, who the fuck are you going to fire over us spending $800 million because you dumb bastards wouldn't say it's a fucking lie? I mean, because that's truly what happened. They did this whole dance where they're like, oh, we were just reporting on what the president was saying.
Right.
You didn't say that it was fucking lying.
Exactly. The problem is you weren't reporting news. All you were saying is yes.
Right? They didn't report that. They pretended
they never
was real
said,
and
no, this is not true.
It was the truth. That's why they had to pay $800 million. So the shareholders and the board want heads to roll. So who's next?
I think the next one is Boxwine Jean.
Yeah, you think?
I think she's next. Because look, the only show. So you have to think of like what shows these people have left. She was removed from her own show, and now the only time you see her
will be all the women first. I agree.
Which is
I agree. It's going to be all the women first. All the women will be just got.
Is Fox News going to move in the direction of having more panel like talk shows where it's
multiple people
of a balance, right? On the 5, it's definitely like 1 versus 4,
right?
But
exactly,
it's one of the things where you have to wonder like, oh, are they?
Because you got the girl who's telling them every truth,
and more of
like Ohio's actually got a higher crime rate,
less like
liability, as they sit in New York, literally in Manhattan, literally in a place where I used to walk by for every time I've been there for at least a week.
It's gonna go
walk
Jean and then Maria
from my hotel over to the office.
Walk, or whatever.
No problem.
She's got a pretty powerful show
from the hotel. Sometimes over on 48.
The judge has been demoted from her actual show.
Walk. I mean, it's a long walk, but yes, I didn't mind the walk.
Like the business side of it,
right?
So.
Yeah, but again, I think you're underestimating how much the shareholders and the board is really going to want heads to roll over this $800 million.
No, totally. But I look at like, all right, which shows are making money and who's actually offering stuff. Now, again,
well, remember they've
surprise. I said
they've also got a number of lawsuits coming from their shareholders about this money that they've lost. So we are nowhere near over.
This may not be an edited version of the question that was asked this morning. I'm not really sure. With all the AI out there, you can never tell. But let's see if we can tell.
Holy shit! If this is true,
I'm not a candidate, so we'll worse. I'm not a candidate, so we'll worse. I'm not a candidate, so we'll worse.
Oh my God! Is he really moving his head like that?
Here, I'll show you the actual clip from CNN.
Oh my God!
Of Ron DeSantis arriving in Tokyo, and he's asked a question.
Holy
and he's asked
shit.
a question about being a candidate because Gabe Sanchez, why would a governor fly to Japan to meet with the prime minister? Could you think of a good reason why a governor wouldn't send a delegation?
Yeah, no, it's probably because Ron DeSantis really loves sushi, and he's like, we're not getting. He's like, man, I'm not getting that high quality yellowtail over in Miami, and so he was like, I got to go straight to Japan. And then he flew there with his wife.
Okay, well now it makes sense. See, I didn't have.
Well, yeah, why did he go? He didn't have to go all the way to Japan.
Man, you know?
Okay, you're back.
No, you didn't have to go all the way to Japan.
I'm back in sync. Yeah. I don't know. I gotta fix this problem. It sometimes happens. It's my fucking camera. I'm on a DSLR, and I don't know if what delay is going on. Yeah. It happens sometimes. I'm trying to find if there's a solution because I'm sure this isn't the first time this has happened.
Don't use your DSLR straight into your.
Ron isn't back on track.
Because I actually had it for a while doing the same.
Ron DeSantis is really lucky.
Ron DeSantis was
really lucky that Tucker Carlson got fired this morning.
Converter.
I mean, really.
And yes, sometimes
because this bobblehead moment that he's going to have here is likely the end of any chance that Ron DeSantis has to enter this race. I mean, I
think that's why you just showed it.
You go to Japan.
It's like it's like the helmet. I think we've just had the helmet moment.
When you're asked, because you're running for president, obviously, but not so obviously that you're not trying to break the law because you want to remain governor in case you can't win because you won't win because you.
Did DeSantis just have his helmet moment?
You're fucking a weirdo who is. It's a big surprise that you're a governor at all, anyways. But this whole fucking imagery of it is going to destroy him. Just watch. You don't have to take my word.
I hear. I do want to see this.
Governor, old show you falling behind Trump. Any thoughts on that?
Huh? What?
I'm not a candidate, so we'll see if and when that changes.
Whoa, did you see that?
He really did do that.
Serious Ron here. And then when he's asked the question,
oh my God. Holy shit.
Okay,
yes. He just had his helmet moment.
I'm not a candidate, so we'll see if and when that changes.
Oh my God. He just had his helmet moment. Oh my God, that is so helmet. That was helmet.
Now you won't be. I called it 4 months ago, actually. Didn't I call it in January? There's no way Ron DeSantis is going to.
No way.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, the big thing, too, is what we said.
You're on a delay again. What the hell?
Damn it. Let me leave and come back.
Okay, see ya. Okay. I'm telling you, it doesn't bother me. It probably doesn't bother you.
Nope,
as an
don't
audience,
care.
But it is digging. It is digging into Gabe Sanchez. He is desperately trying to figure out exactly why he has a delay. These details matter to him a lot. I mean, I'm telling you, it doesn't bother me. It probably doesn't bother, but he is focused in on these details. So let's see if he can. Ivy says he needs to govern. Listen, Ron DeSantis is a Republican. He's a fascist. They don't know how to govern.
They don't have a way to govern. He knows nothing about governing. All they know about is how to hate and make hate. Spread hate. Spread hate.
I'll show you.
And you know what I hear every time I hear woke. Every time I hear the word woke, you know the word I hear.
Of Ron DeSantis. Let me find it here. And I believe it was on Benny Johnson's show. That fucking idiot.
Because it's their new word for.
He's been in some of those spaces.
Woke. Every time I hear woke. Woke, please.
But listen to this interview they have on the side.
Woke.
If I can find it quick.
You be a woke.
Of course, the clip that's going around
woke all over this goddamn place.
Is this one of him being a bobblehead idiot, bobblehead meatball? Oh goddamn! I'm not gonna be able to find it. I don't think. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Benny might be able to
woke
find
effer, please.
No, that's not the one. Oh,
We seem good right now.
Oh, now, you'll be.
I don't understand why you're worried about.
Did you see this one clip of Benny Johnson and
sharing about Tucker Carlson? The one about Benny Johnson sharing about Tucker Carlson?
No. Benny Johnson and
meeting Ron DeSantis, and they went around.
I'm looking for the one on the sidewalk where Ron's like woke and awoke and awoke, woke.
Oh yeah.
Woke this, woke that, and woke this. I'm like, what the fuck, man? How many times, dude? It doesn't have the effect that you think it does to say woke.
I don't know.
No one believes
Thank you.
You're full of fucking shit, man.
Somebody says I'm still off. I'm not off. I think I'm on
No.
right now.
Yeah, you're on.
You're fine.
just
You're
fucking-
fine. You're fine.
They're
Three.
just.
All right, it seems to
You're
be
fine. You're
Okay,
fine.
so Benny Johnson posted this clip.
You're fine.
He's proud of this clip.
Is this the
Johnson.
Flash one where they keep fucking flashing their silhouettes?
No. This is look. He's got a drink in his hand. Who holds a fucking drink like
When
that?
you've got
This guy's a
meatball
weirdo.
hands from pudding,
I guess
fingers.
when you use your fingers to scoop the
Yeah,
pudding.
like it's slippery, so you got to palm it. You got to palm it. You know.
What the
Because
fuck?
if it's the fingers that you go in and you grab your palm,
It's too
gotta
cold
have
at
a
the
big
top
enough
because you
hand to
got
grab the
ice.
cup.
So you don't want to hold it with
Or
your
are you
eyes.
trying to
Or
be like
you'll
Trump
melt the
trying to-
ice. So then he don't want to hold it like that.
in this clip, does he
You
ever
don't want to
drink
hold it
on the
like
drink?
that.
I don't know. Let's watch.
No, you don't want to hold it like
Dysfunctional
that.
government can take the state with more natural
Because that'd be
advantages than
cold
any
at
other state in
top.
our
He got
country.
ice
All
at top.
these
It
great industries,
cold.
Music line.
My hand get cold.
He's so cool. He's so cool. Ron DeSantis. It's so cool. It's so cool. Ron DeSantis is gonna be.
Swear to God, we give them more.
Look at the
freaking
cop
crap.
back here.
Yeah.
Is she?
I swear to God,
protection
we
or is
give
he
them
waiting
more
to
press.
arrest Ron DeSantis? I don't know. Let's find out.
weather, and it could basically ruin it.
What does it say that Elon wants to move Twitter out of San Francisco?
Please move it. Take it.
Now. He's not paying rent anymore. He's
Nope.
going to move it out.
Please.
Could Elon move Twitter to Florida? Would you
Please
support that?
make it.
I don't
Yes.
know. I mean, I
Go.
know Elon, and I
Go.
guess basically what I would tell him
Go.
is like, okay,
Because you know what you're not going to be able to find? Decent programmers.
Employees to Florida.
Go.
Or are you bringing just your people. If it's just his people,
Look
then
at where
it'd be
Disney
good, but
actually
like,
has
you know, and he did
their
fire a lot of
IT
people at
department.
Twitter.
What percent?
Oh my God.
It's not in
Woke.
Florida.
As long as he doesn't bring the woke employees. What the fuck?
Hate to tell you that.
Elon did an interview.
I've been
with
asked
the
to go
BBC
to Disney
reporter, and he was
many
asking,
a
"Are you
time.
planning to leave?" He
And
goes,
not to
"Nope,
Disneyland
not
or
looking to leave
Disney
right
World,
now."
to the
Is
Disney
it true
main
that
IT.
Elon is not paying the
And
landlord?
it
Yes,
ain't
and
because you
also
don't want any
down
money.
there.
and also the fact that they're,
It's
so there are
up
2
here
points here. Ben
in
Johnson's
this
like,
area.
Oh yeah, it's because he's not
the
paying
mainstay
landlord.
of it
That's not
for
a
Disney
great take
is in
at all.
Lucasfilm,
Like
not
you're saying
in
that
Disney.
If you don't want to
FYI.
pay something, then you can just take it, right? Like you can just squat in that property and be like, it's mine.
understanding
I'm not
what
paying
they
you
own.
any money. It seems like that's a bit illegal, and also like which capitalistic person are you trying to come after?
Well, I
owner
mean,
of
the
land,
landlord,
the
the landlord can just sue him. I mean, there's
Yeah,
laws,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
litigation,
Yeah.
and it's a long process. And the landlord probably knows because Elon Musk has the money, but he doesn't have the money, right? But he's never
For
given
those
the
of you who
indication
don't
that he wants to
understand, a lot of what
Twitter somewhere. He
happens
said
to
Tesla.
the
He wants to make Tesla,
employees
but not Twitter.
of
He's never
Disney,
said that. And the
you'll
only
find a
reason why
lot
he
of
said
them
Tesla
are
is because it was during the
transplants.
pandemic when he
And they only last somewhere around 3 to 7 years in most cases. I've known about 5 or 6 of them just in passing from not only podcasting but voice work and other things, and they pretty much tell me the same thing. There are a couple of them that just had a podcast about Disney and working for them, and they lasted about 7 years.
Firing people?
Right. Well, watch this.
How much of your staff did you fire at Twitter? One of the great business stories of the year.
One of the great business
stories of the year is that I
Elon
fired
Musk is a billionaire,
everybody
right? And we're always
at
told
the
this
company.
bullshit that rich people are the
I
job
fired
creators,
everybody at
okay?
the company.
Elon Musk,
and,
folks,
yeah, see,
Elon Musk is a job creator. So listen.
Thank
to
you.
the job creator.
Thank you. This is what your fucking job creators are talking about.
We're about 20% of the original size.
So 80% left.
Yes.
And he's
Also, 80% didn't leave. 80% were fired. 80% of people were not notified properly.
Right. They weren't
80% of
notified. He's
people
actually
were
got a lawsuit
let go,
because of that.
After which he said,
He's got
"Hey, I have this
multiple
challenge. You need to
lawsuits
come
because
to me,
of
print
that.
out your code, blah, 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 all this stuff." That is Elon Musk, the great business stories of the year. 80% did not leave. Just like Tucker Carlson is saying, "Oh, I parted ways. I'm out from Fox." No, you were fucking fired, just like Don Lemon. And 80% of the staff at Twitter were fired.
Right.
They were fired.
Some of them didn't even know they were fired. Like they were
Right.
just,
Yeah. Some of the people, I mean, one of the people who is a very well-known designer in Iceland.
Right.
There was a whole back and forth where he started
Between him.
shitting on this guy.
Right.
And was like, "I don't know who you are. Show me, tell me
Who the fuck
And he's
you
like,
are,
"Well,
blah,
are
blah."
you okay with me? Like, I have to break like
the contract
the
that I
contract
have.
to talk about what I worked on." He goes, yeah, approved or whatever. and they went through.
Which is what a big mistake Elon made when he said, yeah, sure, whatever you want to do. Because now this guy gets to claim in court, like, yeah, I mean, here it is. Here's the
right. But then, I guess he still works there.
Oh no, he still works there.
What happened was
because he knew that he could sue. Elon knew he could be sued for every fucking shit.
It was an acqui-hire. He brought on people, brought on the technology and the expertise into Twitter. And Elon Musk didn't even know who the guy was and thought, oh yeah, I'm just gonna shit on this guy.
Shit on this guy who they bought the company he owned.
Space. Elon Musk, the great genius, rocket scientist,
brilliant guy who doesn't even know what he bought.
The guy's a fucking idiot. He's never worked.
Thank you. He's never worked a day in his fucking life for real.
His family, and on top of that,
he's never had to earn $1 in his goddamn life.
He's doing, and you can see that fucking
with the blue check this weekend.
With the
you got him. No, you don't got him. Yes, you got him. No, you don't got him. Hey, I'll pay for him. Wait, did I pay for the blue check? I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. But speaking of lawsuits, Dara here says class action.
Okay, I wanted to play this I wanted to play this before for my video delays. Okay, speaking of Dara, there is a video that I wanted to play. We'll do it after this segment.
Okay, so
I think it's important.
We got Rachel Bitikofer coming on at the bottom of the hour in about 10 minutes. So let's finish up with old meatball pudding fingers bobblehead.
Pudding fingers.
Too many fucking nicknames, man.
Pudding fingers.
What am I gonna do? Which one am I gonna settle on? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's go with bobblehead.
Made the point that Twitter and other types of Silicon Valley companies, they live in this intellectual cocoon. Woke ideology infuses everything. And over the last many years, they've been exporting that ideology via these social platforms all the way around the world. Yeah. And it's really, I think, infected politics, culture in a very negative way. So I really applaud him for taking on Twitter, trying to moor it back towards facts and truth and stop to always parrot the ideology. And
he doesn't know how to hold that drink. Have you noticed that? He has
He's
no
like,
idea.
look, somebody told me this would be good contrast to the blue and the orange, and maybe it's supposed to be like some sort of symbolism that I'm holding this orange thing and Donald Trump is orange and I've got him in the palm of my hand, and like, it's like, Ron, shut the fuck up, dude. You're a fucking idiot.
Right. You make no sense, and you can't hold a goddamn soda, man.
You say Florida is where woke goes to die. Your lawyers in court legally talked about what woke was, and it was, identifying the injustices that exist in society. Your lawyers even fucking said that. You know what it means, and so when you say woke goes to die, and this is Florida, it's you fucking dog whistle. You're racist. You're a bigot. You're trying to make your state super white, right? So white. And again, and the way to segue into this next segment is Republicans are the ones who project their own issues, right? They talk about someone cheating, someone stealing, grooming, pedophilia. It's the drag queens. It's this, it's that, right? But really, it's from their own party. The call is coming from inside the house.
Thank you. It's coming from inside the house. It always is inside the house.
And the same thing is said
with
groomers and pedophiles.
Thank you.
And Dara made a video about this exact thing. She has a weekly show or like a little segment that she does on Twitter and TikTok where she's like, hey, let's check out all the drag queens, right? It's the drag, I think is the drag prison hour is what it's called, where she goes through all of the drag queens from the previous week who were arrested for being sexual predators, being pedophiles, being groomers, all of these things, sexual assaults, right? And she goes through and she identifies a lot of drag queens, actually.
Really? A lot of them?
A lot of them.
Is it? Okay, well, let's just watch.
Yeah.
Let's watch.
Since the drag queens won't stop attacking our children, here I am with yet another episode of Drag Queen Prison Hour, where I showcase all of the drag queens who
Wait. Those don't look like drag queens.
Those are all drag queens, dude.
Those don't look like
Those are drag queens.
Come on, man.
What?
What are you
talking about?
Dara's got it wrong here. I think these are not drag queens. I'm just saying her research needs to...
What?
What
is it she's showing?
Comments to this, and even left wingers like, "Geez, these aren't drag." Like, yeah, that's the.
Well, yeah. So play the video, and then we'll give people context of why the people are saying that.
Arrested or sentenced to prison this week for getting glitter all over and wearing really loud outfits and using that to harm our children. Look at all those drag queens. They're everywhere. Since the drag queen.
I like the last one.
Yeah. The last one is especially
honorable drag queen. We see you, Allie.
But
yeah, thank you.
It was
It's
it
not,
was funny.
I see what she's doing.
Funny to see.
I see what she's doing.
If you go into the comments,
she is
and
hilarious.
read what people wrote.
Oh, do we have enough time?
I love it.
I mean, just give me.
I love it.
I don't have 5 hours.
Oh my God! Those are all the drag queens.
Explore these comments a little bit.
Let's see. I gotta find some good ones here.
But it goes to show you, because the point, it was funny to see people comment and like.
Actually, the quote tweets were better, I think.
Yeah, the quote tweets are pretty good. Like people missing the point of
the point of the video.
They didn't watch the
video.
video.
Yeah, because they are exactly.
The whole point is to call this
show
out.
that there aren't any drag queens.
It's not drag queens. It's actually
show me the fucking drag queens, because there aren't any.
All these people.
Thank you. They're not drag queens. They're conservative values, white
These are the people
men.
that are actually the ones who are grooming and assaulting.
Conservative values,
people, right?
White
These are the people
men.
that you should.
Did you see every single one of them?
The conservatives, the Republicans, they never want to call out their own.
Thank you.
And so the people who did not watch the video, but instead just commented on it and
comment
in their quote tweets are a problem with, I think, let's call it what it is, right? People just read the headlines and they don't actually read the context of the story, or they see the title of the video and they don't actually watch it, right? And so you see that a lot with people like misinformation, people who are just like clicking on, it's clickbait, right? And they spread around.
Yeah,
like,
let me see if she can do it. If she can do it, then we're done. Yep, I'm done. I just sell what I gotta sell tonight, and then next week I'll pay the.
It's just
the PG&E.
It's just something that shows how little people actually.
The thing is that
research.
MAGA and Trumpism killed satire and parody, because they truly are parodies of themselves.
Well, because
exactly the whole fucking
watching videos and
Kid
reading
Rock thing, right? I mean, they're a parody of themselves.
Thank you. Don't just read the headlines.
All right, it's hard for me to find.
Thank you.
The ones that aren't in support anymore, they've fallen to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the reason why is because no one gives a shit about what morons who don't watch a video and comment on it. No, I'm dead serious. Like, if you're not gonna watch the video and comment on it, then what the fuck's the point? Like, I mean, that's what we do here is I grab the video, I watch the video, and then I go comment on it. Sometimes in real time because we're watching it. And I've gotten shit and I'm like, you're not showing the whole video. It's like a minute and 10 seconds.
I'm like, it doesn't really.
Right.
I only need to show it if I need to show it. But I think we need to stop showing some of this
video.
Shit. It just doesn't need to be shown sometimes.
You see the screenshots.
Sometimes what we end up doing is we end up just taking their shit, and they're performance artists. They're fake. They're full of shit. And we need to stop always saying, I'm being outraged, and that's what they want. Just go, I can say this is bullshit without actually showing that they're just being performance artists, and that's the problem. Is we need to stop when they are just being performance artists.
Daniel Day is another one who's like big fat red X on me. He's like, this isn't real. This isn't real. Don't take it seriously.
When MAGA kills parody and satire, this is what happens.
And then it turns out you fast forward like 6 months, and you find maybe like 8 months. And then you find out that post is actually now truth, right?
Right.
You've got
the unfortunate,
predicting the future,
because he would always say this shit out loud, as if if I say it out loud, I can't.
You were the biggest danger to democracy, by the way.
That's what Seth Abramson told me.
I know. Well, he blocked me. What's the author? Don. What's his name?
Winslow.
Yeah, he fucking blocked me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fucking. He
pays $1,000. He pays Twitter $1,000.
What?
Gold check. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
God damn, must be nice.
Must be very nice.
I'm really sorry. Whatever I did to block you, man. Whatever I did to block you, I'm sorry. Why don't you come and you can give don't give Elon that $1,000.
Come on, give it to me. Thank
you. I was under the impression, and I'm sure and someone can go fact check me. Don Winslow had a post where he was like, I'm going to be investing in other people.
That's right. I remember he was going to retire from writing.
Exactly.
Yeah. He was like, I'm going to prop up content creators. Hey, Don.
I haven't
Don,
seen
are you
that
listening?
Hey, are you listening, Don?
Maybe why he blocked me. He's like, this guy's definitely going to be somebody
showing up on here.
Whoa.
This is weird. Okay.
No, do you think Don Winslow would cancel me because I'm woke? I don't know, man. I think
he did. Maybe. He I don't know. There was a whole thing because people went through his books and found that he wrote he said the N-word and a bunch of other stuff as characters in there. And it was
right. Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
You know what? Speaking of books, we have an author here with us today.
And I'm going to let them go for
author,
this because I'm going to go and finish off some other stuff.
That's the book you got to buy.
See